Hi, everybody. Karl and Samuel at Escape here. And today we are joined with another couple of Escape owners, Dan and Karen Chrapko. Dan and Karen live in Calgary, Alberta, here in Canada, and bought their trailer back in 2017. And I think, welcome to this. Thank you very much for offering to have this experience with us and to give us the benefit of your experience with your Escape. And I'm just going to turn it over to you and say, tell us about how you got into this and what you enjoy about it and everything else.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You're very welcome.
So our journey basically to getting into an Escape started back in, I want to say 2014, 2013. We had a Boler at the time and really enjoyed the small fiberglass trailer experience. We loved, towing something that was really small and very, very usable in any campground that we went to. Anywhere that we traveled, it was great to use. So we got to a point where we were kind of thinking it was either time to really do a complete reno on that trailer or maybe look at something different.
Right.
And I was reviewing it and really trying to convince my wife, Karen, that we could get something newer, maybe something a little bit more newer appliances, something that's a little bit more sturdier, and really we're really excited for the double axle that the Escape offered. And that was actually one of the things that really enticed me with Escape. And when I was doing the initial research, found the company, we kind of did a research piece on it where we're just like looking at the different options that you guys offered at the time, and knowing it was a small company within Canada was amazing. We were super stoked about it. And we got to the point where we made the decision to sell the Boler, and we were like, we're going to get an Escape. Yeah. And found one that was up in Grand Prairie. I thought I was going to get a used one first, and that thing went just like that. There was no chance for me to even get up there. So Then we started looking at the new trailer, and at that point, we started looking at the build sheets and getting the deposit down, and it was awesome for me. Just going through that process was just great.
And must have been. Sorry, Karen, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But must have been. I mean, because you guys are not in our normal demographic, so
no.
Right. So it must have been a big purchase for you at that time, or a big commitment.
It was massive. And for us, it was like, we saved like for a couple of years just to get to the point that we wanted to purchase it. So, and we started off with like the Boler, and it was a used Boler that we had. And camping has always been a thing that we always like. It's a big, huge hobby of ours. Every year we spend quite a few nights in our trailer. It took a while.
Yeah, we do work full time, but pretty much all of our spare time we do spend in our trailer.
Right.
Our big thought process with the Boler was that the Boler we had was 40 odd years old. And so we thought we loved it, but it had its issues, right? So we thought if we put the investment in now to an Escape and we build it exactly how we want it, maybe we'll have it for 40 years was kind of the thought. So
built for you.
Exactly.
And we can keep it and take care of it, and we know it'll last because it's a fiberglass trailer, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Karen, I saw on the build sheet that you had a custom fabric. Did you choose that, or did Dan have any saying in that too?
I feel like we went shopping together, and picked it out together, I think. Yeah. But green is my favorite color, so it was definitely a bright green color, and it goes with the outside theme of our trailer too.
Nice.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the options, is there anything in particular that you appreciate doing your daily camping that you say, well, that option actually made sense to choose?
The solar, for sure.
Yeah, the solar is a big,
a
great option that we love on having that trailer. We can go and basically go without any services, basically anywhere we want to go. And with the batteries and we've been upkeeping everything, it's been great. We go 4 days, 5 days even without even worrying about, if we manage it accordingly, and I don't know, to us, it works really, really well.
And you think that's a trick for people? Is it like, managing it accordingly, like realizing you're not at home, and so?
I think think so. But also you run out of other stuff like water and and tank space before you run out of power ever. But it's nice, like we can camp anywhere, and it's really nice. Like when we pull up to the family reunion and they're like, "Oh, do you want to plug in over here?" And we're like, "No,
we're good."
We got the solar panels. I like being able to be like self-sufficient like that. So
yeah, and I also find like even the maintenance in the winter, and just keeping the batteries up to speed, and just we've made them last really well so far, and just keeping tabs on that I think is really also important. And
I think there's been a bit of a learning curve for sure, but also like with the forum and stuff like that, there's so many people to resource from and like help figure out those issues, like people who've been doing it a lot longer than us. So
and you used the forum extensively when you were sort of getting going or figuring things out?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I have to say that almost all my spare time when we were doing the build sheet was going through the forum on
for like
a ton of options to get, and like different selections. And I think that 2016 to 2017, so we did the order in 2016 and 2017 was the delivery date. There was a switch from the Carefree awning to the Dometic automatic. And so that was a bit of a curveball I was not expecting, but it was like, oh, okay, so this is one of those options that, or not an option, we're getting the automatic now awning. And so we were kind of able to tweak some of the plans on the build sheet. And that's where I asked, I think it asked, I can't remember who it was at the shop, but to put in the cubby in the front, because we wanted access under the front dinette from the outside. And then they were able to put the swing door on the outside, which was an awesome feature. I was so glad they could do it, but they could do it because at the time we didn't have to worry about a post or the awning arm being stuck there at that point.
You say front, was it like on the front, on the side, like the passenger drivers?
Yeah, just on the front. Right by the door.
Under the dinette.
Under the dinette. Yeah, to get under the seat. Yeah.
So you were probably the ones that started the trend then.
I don't know if it was, but I thought like I asked and they said nobody's asked it. I
remember Dan like took a picture of the Escape and drew with a Sharpie like this is where we would want the door.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we can totally do that. So yeah.
And that type of ingenuity or requesting is what drove Reese at the time, and then sort of we've kind of continued that through. So all these requests and ideas that come from our customers, I mean, we churn them in, and they come out and everybody's got them.
It's awesome.
Right. So like all those access hatches that we have now, there's a couple that we make standard on most of the trailers, and then the other ones are optional for people, but they came from yourself and folks like yourself. And then it moved on to things like, I know this year, a couple of key things that we did was lithium batteries. So we now have, I know you're not configuring for another trailer right now, but if and when it ever gets there, we now have lithium battery options that we have with a proper, and then of course you have to keep in times with the vehicles too. So vehicles, and they've got smart switches on them on the 7 pins. So you need some sort of DC to DC charger. So we kind of put together that package so people can have lithium batteries, and of course, solar panels got a little bit more efficient over the years. So now we can run up to 2 190 watt solar panels, and you can still put in the suitcases with the Zamp solar stuff in there as well. And of course, then your inverters for those who want 120 volt power, although it's going to suck a lot more out of your batteries. But for those who want that 120 volt, having the inverter in place is a handy little tool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that the whole concept of, for me, when we were shopping around for trailers and like looking and when we selected the Escape company to basically purchase our trailer from, the forum, the community around the whole thing is one of the biggest aspects of why we chose Escape. They were doing the same thing at the time. Like when we were doing the build sheet and everything, they're sharing as well. They were super supportive and like, well, other people have done this too, or this is another option. Like, and that to me, we've looked at other trailers. You just don't get that anywhere. Like you go to the RV show and it's just like, you want this one or you want this one? Yeah, well, that's all you can pick, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You have zero options, really.
Zero. Yeah.
And on the Escape now, I think we're up over, last time I counted this, we were over 60, excluding excluding what is now the 4,000 choices you have between fabric, the combinations you have between fabric, flooring, and Formica, right? Which is just kind of, you know, when I brought out the seven choices of each last year, it was, I'm like, well, listen, we're doing custom anyway. So what's the harm in us having maybe 7 choices, and then it doesn't cost me anymore to get those 7 choices in. So why don't we offer it out and say, pick and choose, go for it. You know,
exactly.
Then you got 4,000 more choices than any other company that's out there for you, especially on the interior customization. I mean, were you guys oak or maple?
Still oak.
We're the oak.
Yeah, you were oak. I don't think maple was even in then.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. Yeah, and we're sitting in this. So we're in an oak trailer today. This is one of our 21 RNE, which is, so you're 19. We took the 21, which then again it came out after, and we converted. We created exactly the same layout in the 21 as you have in the 19. Hugely popular. Hugely popular.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I can imagine.
Absolutely huge. And this one's oak, and this is so I'm colorblind, so I probably see things a little bit different to everybody. You all see things a little bit different to me. It's a better way to say it. And I love this combination in this trailer with the oak. Mm-hmm. So it's amazing how just for a specific person that, you know, a certain combination just really works for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, the oak to me even gives it more of that classic look. Like we had the older trailer before, and I've been, you know, my family's had trailers, and you know, my cousins have trailers, and you know, the old classic oak. I kind of like the look with the new components that we got with our 2017. Like it to me just feels more homey, and I like the grain structure of it too compared to the maple. But our friends got an Escape as well, and they got the maple finishes as well. Honestly,
with the glass,
cutouts. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's horses for courses, and
totally.
Something different, right? And I love them all, I must admit. We brought out another one this year called Contemporary, because just like when you guys were asking for the access hatch, we had a bunch of people saying, "Oh man, it'd be so nice if you could come out with something more European." And
the white, European. Right? The white cabinet.
Me too. Yeah, so this is the one with the white cabinets or the white doors, which is beautiful. I love them all. I think it's everything's they're all so different and in different ways, and the Contemporary sort of brings it just feels brighter, and
it feels bigger as well in a small trailer. Just more light bouncing around, I think, is the key thing. But if we had I know Sharon and I, if it was a cabin, it'd be a log cabin, and it'd be as oaky as you could get. Probably. Hey Dan, you mentioned something about the community, and early on we talked about the ambassador program, so you're part of that one. Tell us a little bit about how you got to know about it and how it is to be an ambassador for yourself.
So when we were looking for the an Escape trailer, I called the office. They did offer somebody in Calgary that had one to go and take a look at it and call them up. So we that was kind of my first introduction to the ambassador program, and getting a chance to, you know, view another 19 and, you know, talking to the couple there on the west side, and how excited they were about it, and they loved it, and what I found too was, like, going to see the trailer, it was pretty much like everything I could ask for in a trailer. And we talked about it when we were looking at it, just how amazing it was. So even after we purchased our trailer, when they asked the day we did the pickup, they said, "Would you like to be part of that?" I'm like, "Absolutely, of course." Yeah. And so in Calgary, we haven't had recent calls lately, but we had right off the bat, we had so many people reaching out, asking to come and take a look at it. I think we had one summer, there was like 6 people that came through to take a look at it.
And we kept in touch with some of the people who ended up buying trailers.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty neat also. And like we said, one of our friends actually ended up buying a 21 in 2019, I think. They bought a 21.
Wow.
So, I mean, I think if you get people going, if anybody asks you about the trailer and you get talking about it, it ends up being like a 3-hour conversation.
Well, that's because of me. That's my fault. Because I every time anybody asks questions, I go through, well, not the bill, I go through like the process and I start talking about like I went to the forum and I was questioning this, so I checked here, and then I kind of go on a ramble quite a bit. So
I mean, even out in campgrounds and stuff like that, we run into people who are like, wow, that's like a really cool looking trailer.
Wow.
Do you want to see it? Come have a look. And
we have not gone camping once without somebody asking us about it. And it is that part to me, it's kind of rewarding, but also just kind of a cool feeling. They give you a stack of, we got a stack of cards in the trailer when we left after the pickup, and we've given so many out already, and people like stopping us on the side of the road. We park in a town to go for lunch at a restaurant, and they park behind us and wait till we got out, and they're like, can we take a look at your trailer?
Stalking you.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Lots of people are looking for like a small size trailer. They had a bigger trailer and it was like a lot of work, and they're like, we want something little. Does this have all the stuff in it? And we're like, yeah, it has a bathroom, it has a kitchen, it's got a full-size bed, it's got everything you need, right?
Like, so where else would that happen? Could you imagine someone coming to your house, knocking on your front door and saying, I really like the look of your house, can I come in and have a look around?
Right.
You know, can I sit down and can I see your rooms?
I mean, it's a compliment every time, right?
It is. Yeah, like and it's just a testament to the way the trailer is designed, and like some of the features, especially that they ask, are really, to me, some of the key features that we wanted, right? They're like, oh, it's such a small trailer for a double axle. Yeah, I'm like, absolutely. But it's so much easier to tow than something that's a single axle, like when we had the smaller trailer.
Plus we can bring all our toys.
Plus
like we bring our mountain bikes and our canoe and stuff like that. And we're always like traveling with other stuff, but it doesn't impede, like the fact that the trailer is nice and small means that we can like bring all our other stuff.
And I didn't have to upgrade my truck because I've always wanted to own a Tacoma back in the day. And when I got a Tacoma, I did not want to get a full size. And so that was the other feature of the trailer that like the weight is so great on it when it like the dry weight and even the full weight. Perfect. I didn't have to upgrade. I can still drive my little truck around. So
So when you two, when the trailer was built for you, you actually picked it up here in person. Tell us a little bit about that and where you stayed.
Yeah. So we drove out, I think our pickup day was on a Monday. So from Calgary to Chilliwack is like 12 hours, 10 hours. I can't remember. Yeah. Like 12 hours or something. So we left on Sunday morning, we drove all night, and then there was a hotel right behind I think a Best Western or something right behind
pretty close to the
factory. So we stayed there and then went first thing Monday morning, and we packed everything from like all our camping stuff, all our dishes and our bikes, and I don't know, like all the, like our RV mat and everything, our tools, whatever.
Loaded the truck up.
Loaded everything in the truck, and then just drove out there. And Monday morning we picked it up. They got us all set up with the hitch and stuff, and then we went to a campground nearby called Cultus Lake, and we spent like 3 or 4 days at the lake, and we unpacked. We unpacked at the campground. It was really neat. It was like fun.
It was actually
we went to Canadian Tire first.
Well, because I forgot wheel chocks. I left the wheel chocks at home, and I'm like, you're going to need those. So I went and bought the cheap $5 ones at Canadian Tire or whatever. That was the only thing that we got.
And then we got groceries. And we spent the rest of the day at the lake, like setting up the trailer. It was fun. Figuring out
how a beautiful place, Karen. That is where Harrison likes to go. Harrison paddleboarding, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I remember it was really hot.
That week was
like 30 plus degrees every day. It was hot.
It was real toasty. The experience there was really great. Like when we walked in, they took us through to the trailer. We did a walkthrough of the trailer. They showed us all the components, how everything worked. And while we were doing that, they were putting the hitch on the truck and the trailer and just making sure that it was leveled properly and everything was set up. So, and then basically at that point, it was just on our way driving away, and we saw the other couple coming in for their orientation
from Texas, I think, or something.
That's right. Texas.
They drove further than us.
Back then, of course, we didn't do deliveries. Not really.
Oh, you're right. I think that's true because the lady was when we were talking to her, she was coming across the border to pick up the trailer or do the orientation. And then something of that nature going across the border back and then it being delivered at the border or somebody taking it back to the border or something of that nature. I couldn't remember.
That's right. Yeah. For our US customers, it was, well, it always is. We export for them. And we export it for them. So we have to drive it across the border.
Yeah.
But there was no delivery option. So folks would always have to drive up, whether they were coming from Florida or Texas or wherever it might be. And, if it takes a week to get here from Florida or even from southern Texas, then, that's a lot of vacation time sucked up just trying to come and collect it later. We were actually pretty fortunate because back in 2019, gosh, let me get my dates right here. Yeah, I joined in 19. So back in 2019, we were looking at it and I'm saying, man, we got to figure out a way to get these trailers to people cost effectively. It's going to make a lot more sense. And then we put our delivery program in place and that's worked out except then COVID hit in 2020 and we were all set up and ready to go. So it was just worked out so incredibly. Fortunately, they kept commercial traffic open. At the borders.
That's good.
And so through the last year, we've just been delivering like crazy all down into Florida and all through Texas. I say Florida because it's kind of the furthest point away for us, but
Well, we went in and it just reminded me, we were at, my brother got married in PEI in
2017 maybe?
It was the same year, 2017.
Wow.
And we got the trailer. So that fall in September, we went out to PEI and we were on the Cabot Trail and we went to the campsites because we did our own little, because we flew there, we did equipped camping through Parks Canada and we saw an escape.
Yeah.
I know we have a couple. Well, of course, we have a fair few out in Quebec. I know it's a bit more of a trek across to get towards PEI, but I think it was this year we sold one. Last year we sold one out to PEI. Another one out to PEI. Jimmy, awesome. Gosh, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember Jimmy's second name. But Jimmy, he was definitely. It reminded me. Just in terms, I didn't actually speak to the chap, but the way I was dealing with him, I could swear I was just dealing with an Irishman. It was just, I was like, yep. And of course PEI, but that whole sort of region, PEI and the Newfies and all that area.
And for those who don't know Karl that well, he is from Ireland. So to close that loop.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Samuel.
So give us a little bit of an idea about packing. I see you look very Canadian. You have a Canadian hat on. By the way, I really like that little picture in the background. It's very
the Boler. Single axle.
How do you pack? Single axle. There you go. Yeah. In especially in Alberta, maybe not so now, but in spring, you can have sunshine, next day it rains, or even snows. How do you pack?
Well, for all weather, we don't winter camp yet. Generally, we're from like April to October, maybe is like the latest that we can.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But we got all the extra insulation on the trailer and stuff like that. So it's actually quite cozy, even if it's in the below zeros. But yeah, so we get
for our American cousins here, that's below 0 Celsius.
Oh, yeah, right.
Below 0 Fahrenheit, which is a different matter altogether.
We're not in Alaska.
and it's tough up in Alberta, right? There isn't much of a shoulder season. It kind of goes from okay to really cold, really fast.
And honestly, we've camped in July where we wore winter boots and winter coats the whole trip because it was basically raining in 0 degrees. You just never know what you're going to get. So you got to kind of pack your rubber boots.
Yeah, and elevation, of course, kicks in as well, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, because we like getting into the mountains and it can always change. So, but I don't know. In terms of packing, you pack everything. Yeah. I guess not pack everything. You pack simply because we're still going camping. So, but you need your rubber boots and you need your winter coat and you need your shorts and your paddle boards and whatever for summer weather, right?
When we usually load up the truck and the trailer, like with all of the toys, like our bikes, because we put the bikes in the back of the trailer with a little Thule rack, and then the canoe can go on top of the truck. So we normally when you load everything up, it's quite extensive on like the packing, but like from a normal, I guess, trying to attack all the different types of weather, it's like it's basically trying to keep it as simple as possible, but also trying to.
But also, there's some stuff that just lives in the trailer all year.
Yeah,
We always have like rubber boots and winter coats just in case, because you never know. And
toques.
Toques minutes.
Gotta keep in there. Yeah,
yeah,
also, yeah.
So, yeah.
Toque is one of the first Canadian words you learn when you come to Canada.
Toque.
Did you remember learning that?
Oh yeah.
Toque, yeah.
Wool hat, I guess.
Wool
hat.
Hat. Yeah, cap. Well, no, this is we would call it. I guess I'd call it cap. Yeah, a hat, a beanie will be the other one. I guess it's more English. Beanie, maybe. Hat, beanie. Yeah, caps. Very good.
Do you have? You mentioned earlier, I think in an email that you sent, that usually you travel about. Is it twice a year or so, or how many times are you?
Yeah, usually we do like maybe like 2 or 3 bigger trips each summer where we go for like a week or 10 days. And then, but we also do a lot of just weekend camping in between. So there's lots of beautiful places within like an hour or 2 of Calgary where we can just go for a weekend or an extended weekend with our friends.
Yeah.
Any tips, Karen, for locals? Any tips? Any nice spots to go?
Anywhere in Kananaskis is wonderful. It's just before Banff, but it's got all the beauty and all the wildlife and all the hiking and biking and activities that you could ever want to do, and lakes.
Yeah. Playground area for you guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
One of the things that we love about camping out in the mountains is like, and even with this trailer, is we can get into almost any campsite.
Yeah,
like we never have to worry when we're booking sites. If we are booking sites, it's never I don't know if we're going to be able to fit. Like we're always selecting the smallest site, one like 19 foot or 20 foot, and we can get in there. Like it's really easy to do.
Yeah, we do lots of different kinds of camping. Yeah. So like we do a lot of provincial parks here when we're staying in the province, but also if we're going on longer trips, sometimes we'll go to like bigger RV parks.
Yep.
Or also when we're camping with family, sometimes we're just back roads, like bush camping, off the grid kind of thing, and we can get in anywhere, and like the trailer can do it all basically, which is again one of the things we really like about it. So, yeah.
And did you ever have you guys ever made it down to the rally in the Okanagan?
No, we missed it I think we missed it by a week when we picked up our trailer that first year. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that. So
and then we haven't had it for the last couple, so
yeah.
Yeah.
We'd like to get out there. We have camped a couple times in Kelowna, kind of like in and around Kelowna.
Well, twice. We camped once with on our way back, and then from the pickup. And then when our friends bought their trailer, they were on their way back, and we met them in Kelowna and did the wine tour stuff and stayed at a BC Parks campsite with them. So yeah.
But this is brilliant. Listen, we really appreciate you taking the time. We really appreciate being escape owners and continuing to be ambassadors. It's I think it's very important. I'm going to say very important for everybody else to have the ambassadors, or for certainly all the new owners and stuff. And I think we would, hopefully we look forward to sort of meeting you sometime, if possible, at a rally, if it works with your schedule and works with all the other schedules, which we hope to have. I mean, we really hope to be able to get our rally going again for next year, which is May, usually pretty much the last week of May. So I know there'll be tons of people, wanting to get into that one. We almost had when we planned the rally for 2020, which didn't happen, we pretty much had the whole campsite booked out.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
Many people coming, pretty much all booked. So, fingers crossed next year, things will be good, and we can all get together. So I think that's just about it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Is there anything else you guys want to add before we sign this one off?
No, thanks for the opportunity to talk about the trailer. I mean, for me, it's awesome.
Call anytime.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Well, listen, guys, thanks very much. We kind of always finish this with the saying that we have recently, and then Karen, you said it there a little bit earlier. So we'll kind of play the game. I don't know if you watched any of the other videos that we have, but it's so that's great. Thanks everybody. We're Escape Trailer, and we're
built for you.
Because we keep talking about the built for you part.
Oh yeah.
In the escape, the personalization and customization side of things. And then we came up with the whole, we're built for you. So it's going to become the tagline. I remember Reese saying it. Reese said it to me back in 2019. I remember we were I think Reese and I were on a trip. We were driving up to Malacca area, back down to Kelowna. We were working our way around there to meet with the mold manufacturers that we have up there in Malacca area, Shuswap sort of area. And you know, we were kind of talking, and I remember him saying to me, yeah, you know, really it's built for them. And then I kind of go, wow, so yeah, built for you type idea. If I was talking to you, I'd say built for you. So we kind of kicked off this whole built for you strategy. And it's the one thing that absolutely separates Escape from, I want to say, most other trailer manufacturers. Right, there are a few that are a bit more custom, like Armadillo. They have a nice little trailer now coming along. Bigfoot, of course, but they're less personalization, customization side of things. Like Trillium are still doing, Outback are still doing some stuff with the Trillium, but again, not as much customization. Casita, very minimal customization. Oliver, a little bit more. Some good standard, good quality product, but again, practically no. These guys are all focused on manufacturing. They're all focused on product. How much product can we move through with the minimal amount of customization? And whereas we're kind of saying, no, we're going to be the opposite. We're going to be flexible and able to manufacture with a lot of customization in it. We're just not bespoke. Yeah. You know, we're not.
Oh yeah, and
I think it is what and I think it is what stands out. Yeah, really, it's
that part too, and even the price point. Like when you look at all the other manufacturers, it's not crazy out there price. Like it's within reason for the, like you mentioned, for the opportunity to customize, which is unheard of, right? So
that's true
in a lot of places. So it was a great overall experience for us. I mean, love it.